it's Mrs. Ireland. I'm here in my kitchen, and today I'm going to be doing a little baking experiment with my friend Rylan. Say hi, Rylan.
Hi.
So Rylan's going to help me out today. What we're going to be doing is making one of my favorite cookies, which are molasses cookies. And we are going to be talking about the chemistry of baking, because when you're baking, you're combining all these different ingredients and they all work together to create something new, and that's chemistry. So what we're going to be doing is following our recipe, but we're going to be changing it a little bit. So we're going to be taking out certain ingredients and seeing what happens to our final product. All right, so let's get started. All right, everyone, we have our baking set up here for our molasses cookies. We have 4 different types that we're going to be working on today. First one is our original. We're going to follow the exact recipe as it is written. We're not going to change anything. We're going to make sure we follow all the instructions. Next one, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take out the flour. Next one, we're going to take out the baking soda, and the last one, we're going to take out the egg. So in each one of these is going to be missing just one ingredient, and we're going to see what happens to our final cookie when we take out that one ingredient, if anything changes or if it stays the same. All right, so my assistant Rylan and I are gonna go ahead and measure out all of our ingredients and mix up our doughs, and I want you guys to watch closely to what happens to each dough. We'll do it in fast pace too, so that you guys don't have to wait as long. All right, friends, we have done all the mixing and measuring, and we have put together our original dough, our no flour dough, our no baking soda dough, and our no egg dough. Okay, so Rylan, what I'd like you to do, can you just look at these and tell me, what do you notice about the differences between these right now?
Well, they're all liquids.
They are all liquids, yeah.
And some of them are a little more thick than each other.
Yeah, which ones are more thick?
This one and this one.
Yeah, those ones definitely look a little thicker. Is there any difference between this one?
Yes, it's like kind of like more liquidy.
Yeah.
As we first started without the dry ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. When I go like this, you can see a lot of liquid, a lot of movement there, right? But then when I pick up this one,
it's kind of like peanut butter.
yeah, it's almost like peanut butter. It's really, really thick. And it does still move a little bit, so it is still a liquid, but what we would say is this has a much higher viscosity than this one. So the viscosity is how thick a liquid is. So this, because it pours so slowly, this is a very high viscosity liquid. Okay, what about, do you notice anything with the color of these different bowls?
This one is more of like a dark brownish. This one is way more lighter. This one's kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
And that one's like almost the same as this one.
Yeah, these two are pretty much the same in color, right?
Yeah.
This one's kind of in the middle, and this one is much darker than the rest of them. Interesting. Okay. Well, friends, we're going to pop these in the freezer so they can thicken up for a few minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and roll them in sugar and get them on our baking tray. All right, everybody, we've got our 4 different types of doughs ready to go into the oven. These 3 seem to be looking okay. Our no flour one is not doing so well. It's basically pure liquid. So we'll see what happens in the oven. We're gonna bake these at 375 for 10 minutes and see what happens. They're done. Let's see how they turned out. All right, everyone, here are our final cookies. This was our original where we followed all the instructions. This one that expanded quite a bit, this is no flour. This one is no baking soda, and this one is no egg. Okay, so I'm gonna have Rylan go ahead and look at these cookies. And Rylan, can you just describe to me what you notice about these cookies?
Well, this one, the original, it looks like a little mini pancake, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And the no flour kind of looks like a burnt pancake.
It does.
And the no baking soda looks like a very normal, very well cooked shaped cookie.
Mm-hmm.
And the no egg is very fluffy.
Mm-hmm. True. What about the color of all of these? What do you notice?
Well, the original looks like a normal cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So the same with no egg and no baking soda.
Mm-hmm.
But the no flour, it also kind of looks like a burnt pancake.
Right. It's like almost black. It's so dark. Yeah. Is the no egg and the no baking soda, are they lighter than the original?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. It looks like this one's got a little more golden color, and these two are a little more pale.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the thickness of the cookies? If you look from the side, how thick would you say each of these are? Which one do you think is the thickest?
I would say the thickest is the no egg.
Yeah, I think so. Which one's the thinnest?
Definitely the no flour.
Definitely no flour. It is very, very flat. Definitely. Okay, awesome. Good. Yeah, it looks like a lot of interesting things happen with these cookies. Each one's a little bit different. And something I noticed right here on the no baking soda one, if you notice right there at the top, that looks like it's still raw. It looks like it didn't cook all the way, huh?
Yeah.
That's really interesting because this one's cooked all the way, this one's cooked all the way, that one's definitely cooked all the way. But this one is not completely cooked. It looks like there's some raw dough still in the middle there.
If you feel it, does it feel raw? It kind of feels too soft.
It does, yeah. So that's probably some raw dough still. Interesting. Okay, great. Well, those are some good observations, Rylan. Thank you. Now, Rylan, what state of matter are these cookies in?
Solid.
They are solid, right. Now, before we baked them, they were liquids,
Yes.
right? So now that they're solids, can we put them back into a liquid form?
No.
No, right, because what we just did here is a chemical change. That chemical change is when we combine different ingredients, we baked it in the oven, so we combined it with heat, and now these things are permanently together. We cannot put it back into a liquid form, and we can't separate out all the different things we mixed together, right? Unlike an ice cube, right? If you have water, you can pour it into an ice cube mold and it's an ice cube. Then you can take it out of the freezer and it can turn back into water, right? You can go back and forth as many times as you want. We can't do that with this, right?
No.
These were a liquid, now they're solids, and they're gonna be solids forever. Even if I put it in the freezer, it's gonna stay a solid. If I put it out in the sun, it's gonna stay a solid, right? Not gonna change. Okay, very good. So now, let's talk about what happened in each one of these cookies. Okay, so this one right here, friends, this is the no flour one. So the reason that this cookie turned out looking like this horrible burnt flat pancake, that's because flour is made out of starch granules and protein. So protein makes the dough sticky and elastic, so you can kind of pull it apart instead of being all liquidy.
Kind of like slime?
Yeah, like slime, exactly. And then the starch does this thing called gelatinize, so it gets thicker when it's given enough heat and water. So that makes the structure of the dough. So it gets nice and thick and it holds the dough together. That's why you notice this one is so flat and it just spread out everywhere because it has no structure, right? It just spread wherever it wanted to because it didn't have the starch to help give it structure. Now our no baking soda one, what baking soda does is it reacts with acidic ingredients and heat. And when it does that, it creates CO2 gas, which is carbon dioxide, as a byproduct. So as it's reacting inside the cookie, it gives off gas. And that expanding gas makes the dough rise. And it gets higher and it has the air come through it so that it bakes fully. Then our last one, our egg one, when you don't have eggs in it, or I guess when you do have eggs, what eggs do is they actually have two jobs. They, one, solidify, and two, they emulsify. So solidify helps give it structure, kind of like the flour. So it helps hold its shape. And the emulsifying, it helps fats and water-based liquids come together. Normally those two things don't come together, they repel each other. So the egg helps bring them together like a binding agent. All right, so that's what happened to all 4 of our cookies here. That's why they're all so different from each other. Now Rylan and I are gonna do a little taste test for you guys and see how they turned out. All right, everyone, our cookies are done. We've talked about what happened. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a bite of each one and see how they turned out. All right, so let's start with the original so we know what it's supposed to taste like, okay? So here's our original cookie. We're gonna break off a little bite for me and Rylan. Ooh, it's nice and gooey on the inside, but it's definitely
fresh.
Yeah, fresh and fully baked. Okay, here's your piece. Let's take a bite. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's a yummy cookie. So chewy. Oh, yum, and you can taste all the stuff in there. Yeah, moist. It's not over baked, but it's definitely cooked all the way.
There's so many flavors to it too.
There are. Good, okay. That's a good one. We'll probably come back to that. All right, let's try the no flour.
Oh,
Ready?
No. Okay.
Here's
it
our.
looks like a burnt piece of seaweed.
It does, and it smells really burnt.
It smells like a burnt pancake.
It
Like
does.
someone lit a pancake on fire.
It does. Here, let's try just a little piece each, okay? Tiny little bit for each of us. Just a little bite.
Okay.
Ready? Go. Oh, it's not good. Ew. It's so burnt. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, take a bite of the good cookie.
That was bad.
That's so much better. Whew, that's a bad one.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, still taste it.
Me too.
Let's move on to the no baking soda. All right, this one I don't think is fully baked in the middle, so we're gonna make sure we only eat from the outside so we don't get sick.
Yes.
All right, so there's a little outside piece for you.
Oh, the taste is stuck in the back of my throat.
It is. All right, kind of looks cakey.
It does.
Interesting. The inside is very interesting. All right, you ready to try a bite of this one?
Yes.
No baking soda? Here we go.
Kind of tastes like bananas.
It tastes different, doesn't it? Yeah. Doesn't taste quite right. It's not bad, but it definitely doesn't taste like that one.
Yeah. It tastes like it has no cinnamon in it.
Yeah, it tastes very bland. Like all the flavors didn't show up somehow.
Like they just walked out of the cookie and disappeared.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. All right, last one.
No egg.
No egg. Let's see what happened with this no egg cookie. All right. All right, there's your piece.
Thank you.
Ready? Go.
Definitely more crunchy.
Had a crunchier top.
A salty inside.
Yeah, you taste the salt. Yeah, I think I'm getting kind of pockets of different things. It feels like it didn't mix all the way.
Yeah.
Like, because you know how I was saying the egg is an emulsifier, it brings things together.
Yeah.
It feels like everything didn't combine quite right.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting. Well,
Yes.
not my favorite. Definitely like the original.
Me too.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this baking video with me and Rylan. We're gonna go ahead and share our molasses cookie recipe with you, the original one, so it tastes good. We're gonna share that with you as a Christmas gift to you. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have a wonderful day, and we will see you later, guys. Bye.